How's it going? I'm finally doing it, guys. I'm finally gonna start building this dang CNC machine. And as you can probably tell, I just have a wealth of space to put it in. So it's gonna be a pretty small little thing. The idea being that it's gonna fit on top of this little husky shelf thing, whatever. Toolbox, that's the word. Toolbox. Yeah, I want it to fit on top of here. And try as I may, I will not be able to fit a full CNC build into one video. So we're gonna do this thing in parts. This video is gonna be focused on building the main basic frame of the CNC machine and the cut bed that I wanna be able to raise and lower using a stepper motor. You've already seen this sort of thing built a million times, so let's waste no time and hop to it. Here we have all our pieces cut out for the frame. As you can tell, it's not going to be that big. So normally at this point in any other build, I'd just be going zip, zap, zoop, putting this thing together real quick. But this has to be very, very accurate. So we're going to take this one step at a time, making sure every piece is the exact same length and making sure everything is dead nuts. So we're going to start by capping these 7-inch pieces. So this frame has to be perfectly square, and in order for that to happen, all these pieces need to be the same size, and as you can see, I haven't done a very good job of that. So let's rectify that. So my initial thought was to do this on the mill, but that mill isn't too good with steel, and I crashed it. So, plan 2. Get them all butted up nice. Tack them together. Then painstakingly grind away at them. So here we have the main frame for the CNC machine. So before moving forward, we need to check that this is square. Well, I guess it's a rectangle. So that's the main frame built for the CNC machine. It's a pretty small guy, but I got a pretty small shop. So I think the main focus on this video is gonna be building the bed. And you've seen 1.5 million people build these before. I want a bed that can raise and lower. So I want this thing to be pretty light. We're gonna make it out of aluminum. I've cut 45s on the outer frame, which is playing with fire because that never works out for me. Get these things welded up. So we've got our frame, and now we've got our cut bed that fits right inside there. And I literally ran out of argon on the last weld of this thing, so we're having a good day, guys. So in each corner of this thing, I'm gonna have a linear rail and a lead screw. And I want them to be fairly evenly spaced, and also I need to find a way to utilize these stupid bearings that I ordered on Amazon. So I'm thinking I'm gonna cut out 4 corner plates on the plasma cutter that will position both the linear rod and the lead screw exactly the same in all 4 corners. That way I don't have to play around with too much guesswork. So these are the plates that I cut out. These 2 center punches line up with the mounting holes for the bearing. This one will be drilled to a size where I can cut a shoulder on this linear rail on the lathe and insert it in there. And this plate will hold the other end of the linear rail. And these little slots are just for adjustability. So if you've been around my channel for any length of time, you know every time I gotta tap a hole, I'm just crying. So I've ordered some more fluted taps on Amazon. Be ready for a comprehensive review. 2 holes, still not broken. Still don't have high hopes. And here we are. 5 holes in, already broke it. Well, it was good while it lasted. Oh God, got to plug the gas back in. So as you can probably not see from this far away, I've got all those plates installed in the corners. I've installed the bearings. Now I want to install the linear rails, and to do that, I need to turn a shoulder down onto here that will fit into these holes that I've drilled in these plates. So, to the lathe! First try! Nice! So I've gotten all these rods machined down with shoulders. I've inserted it into the top piece that we cut out on the plasma cutter. And then I've very carefully aligned it with this square to where it's sitting square to the frame. Now I can come in with a transfer punch and mark a line across that slot. Now I can measure this with my calipers and transfer these hole locations around the entire frame. And if we did everything right, which we probably didn't, but if we did everything right, then these should all line up and be square. And there is a little bit of wiggle in there, but not much. So cross your fingies. You're never gonna believe this. I finished all the holes and didn't break the tap. Maybe the 1/4 inch is a little more stout. Either way, the linear rails are done. Not installed yet, but done. Now we gotta figure out how these lead screws are gonna attach to the bed. And we gotta do that without TIG welding, because I'm all out of argon. You've heard this story many times before on this channel. Left the bottle open. I leave my CO2 bottle open all the time and it doesn't leak out, but the argon does, so I don't know. It makes no sense. The mind boggles. I got a leak. Let's be honest. So initially my lazy brain said, oh, let's just 3D print some parts. But then I thought these parts are gonna be taking all of the load of this table up and down and up and down. Those will 100% break. So rather than spending 7 passive hours letting them print, I'm gonna spend 7 working hours making them out of aluminum. Let's do it. So first things first, in order to make sure we have a more accurate measurement of where those T-nuts have to be located in space on this thing, I'm gonna go ahead and mount these linear bearings onto the bed, stick it in place, and then we can make our measurements. A little bit of a dummy move on my part. I'm only gonna be able to stick 2 of these holes onto here, so hopefully that's enough mounting. I mean, this thing is fairly light, but we'll see. Worst comes to worst, we gotta fabric cobble a little bracket. So I got all my linear bearings installed. Now we painstakingly stick these onto the precision rods. So I've got all these blocks made for the T-nuts. They fasten onto the frame via these holes. Now before attaching these, I need to figure out how and where these pillow block bearings are gonna mount. And I think the best way I have to do this, although I hate to say it, is to set up a square on the frame, square it up, punch my holes, and tap them. It's gonna be difficult and it's gotta be perfect. So I'll see you in an hour. Alright, now we just build this thing up like a shish kebab. So we get our block, T-nut, onion, pillow block bearing. Delicious. Now we can make our little shish kebab and install the pillow block bearings on all 4 corners. So with all this installed, we can use the lead screw to line these things up with the top of the frame. Center punch the holes, just using a drill bit. Get that guy out the way. Uh-oh. Get those holes drilled and tapped. Ta-da! Now we just gotta do that 3 more times. I'll be back. Got them all installed. Now I should be able to put a pulley on each of these. Install a belt. And pull this thing up and down with the timing belt. Look at that! So this thing seems to run pretty smoothly. May need to adjust the linear rails a bit, so happy I allowed that for myself. I'm learning. Now, my favorite part of any build, I gotta take the whole dang thing apart, and then we'll figure out where we're gonna mount the stepper motor, because I want this thing to be electronically controlled, obviously. So I got this thing all disassembled once again. Now I think I'm gonna make a little cutout here, and have the stepper motor poking down into the frame. Now I've got this little stepper mount plate that I cut out on the plasma cutter. That's gonna mount right here. The problem is I don't know how I'm gonna drill the mounting holes. The solution? Slightly angled holes. Well, we got 3 mounting holes. And these little spiral flute tap things in a tap wrench instead of a drill? Not so bad. Now we can mount our stepper motor to our little plate, and then we can use these slotted holes to tension the belt. Now we got to make a couple idler pulleys to bring the belt from out here to in there. And to do that, we're going to use these teeny tiny little parts. And now I need to machine some little snap ring grooves into this teeny tiny little rod. Just like that. So these go together like snap ring, mounting piece, washer, idler pulley, washer, mount, snap ring, snap ring. Oh! Does that count? I think it counts. We did it! That was tough. Pro tip, try not to get the snap ring in your eye. Now we just weld these guys in place and hope we don't ruin all that hard work. Alright, now we can start putting this thing back together. So, I've got a GT2 timing pulley on this NEMA 17 stepper motor. Stick the belt on there because it'll be easier now than later. Now we can install our lead screw. Linear rail can go in. This time we'll put our pulley on the lead screw before the bed. Now just got to do that on all 4 corners. Now we can install these guys and the pillow blocks. So I got the thing installed now, and all I have is this big roll of GT2 timing belt. So I gotta figure out a way how to splice this. I got an idea. So first I'm gonna dead reckon it here. Next, it would have been smart if I was prepared. So I've cut it off as straight as I could with a pair of scissors. Now I'm gonna rough up the back of both ends with some sandpaper. Now I need a way to hold these in place. It's probably pretty hard to see what's going on here, but I've taken the smallest clamps that I could find in this shop and clamped the 2 ends butt to butt, lined up just right. And now I'll wipe them down with some isopropyl alcohol. Wait for that to flash off. And now I'm going to super glue this teeny tiny piece of fabric to the back. Yeah, I don't know how well that's gonna work. I've let it set up for a little bit. It seems pretty strong, but time will tell. Now we can loop this timing belt through all the spots it's supposed to be in, tension it up, then we can hook up the stepper and give this thing a test. So as you can see, I've got this thing rigged up to the Z-axis on my plasma cutter, which means page up and page down should make this thing go. Oh! It works! Pretty cool. So obviously the bed's not leveled yet, and there is, take a listen. The timing belt is rubbing a little bit on one of the idler pulleys on the way down, but that's all stuff that we can fix in the future because this bed is gonna have to come off once again when we continue building. So we can just fix it along the way. But otherwise, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out, man. I think this is a good start on the CNC machine. And now that I'm seeing it in 3 dimensions, I'm starting to get pretty excited, man. So in the next video, we're gonna be working on the gantry, getting that Y-axis built, getting the X-axis built, and figuring out how to mount the tube. So hopefully this thing will be a little bit closer to being in action by the end of the next video, but I think we made pretty good progress. Pretty happy with it. Definitely gonna need some more argon. This piece fell off. Otherwise, I'm pretty stoked, man. So if you haven't already, leave a dinger. Think about subscribing, and thank you for watching.